How are you handling quarantine and the pandemic overall? Have you found a good work-life balance that fits your schedule? Are you having any difficulties coping or relaxing when needed? We're going to be talking about things like this today with one of ELV's very own staff members. Hello, Milena Boris here again for our weekly What's Up Wednesday interview, and I'm so excited to announce that we have Ty Johnson with us, one of ELV's own staff, here to join us today. Hey, Ty, how are you? Thanks so much for taking the time.
Well, thank you, Milena. It's so wonderful to be here with you today.
Perfect. No worries. All right. So just to kind of get into a little bit, first off, how are you? How are things holding up overall?
Today is a good day.
I agree. So tell us a little bit about your role here in the EC field here at ELV first.
Absolutely. I'd love to. So at Early Learning Ventures, ELV, I have the honor and privilege of working on the Early Head Start initiative that we are a new grantee as of 2015. And I get to support professional development, curriculum implementation, and authentic assessments within our partnership sites. And I do that through our leadership team support, along with our child care partnership specialist support, who are really the eyes and the grind,
yeah,
work, and it's just such an honor to be a part of this team for so long to ensure that children have access to high quality early care and education.
Sure, perfect. Yeah, that's a wonderful overview. So to kind of get into it just a little bit, talking about the pandemic and COVID overall, we've obviously been working from home since, what is that, March now? It's been literally so long.
Not to be exact, but March 16th.
Not that we're counting. So what are some things that have helped you cope kind of with day-to-day life and manage any new stressors that have come up during this time for you?
You know, the biggest help and support that has been for me is changing my perspective and changing my mindset. What I've had the opportunity to learn and gain during this time is that this is very different than working from home. This is being at home while living through a pandemic and working to be productive while at home. And so I have really focused on learning how to do a work-life blend to create balance. Because in essence, work in our personal life is really not things that exist separate from one another. And so I've really focused on helping them coexist under the same roof. And it's really been helpful to me to focus on the controllables and release the uncontrollables. And really reset my mind to believe and understand and communicate with all my partners that they will get 100% of my effort on that day. And I tell you, people get it. People understand that you are your best every day in a different way. And it's pretty powerful to make those authentic connections and have people understand that.
Yeah, going virtual has some, like we've mentioned before with the work stuff, how we've been even more involved with people's lives than ever before. So it's kind of crazy how it's worked out in that way.
Right.
So for those who are having maybe a more hard time finding that balance with this new work-life schedule, what are some suggestions that you may have on how to create and maintain that balance in their life?
You know, I think the very first thing that I would suggest, if I may, is accept what is.
Yeah.
And we have to accept that we are living in a different time. We have to accept that this is our first time for most of us living during this time. And because it's our first time, we have to then release the responsibility of being the expert.
Oh, yeah.
If I could ingrain that in every person's mind that I come across, is release that responsibility of yourself. Know that we're in this exploration stage of figuring out what can we implement, what can we do differently, and what can we do more of that may have worked before. And it's important to give yourself that grace and give yourself that time to really grow a new routine, create new habits, join in new self-care practices that you may not ever thought of.
Right.
It is unbelievable opening up your mindset to those possibilities.
And new things sometimes are hard to find. So what are some of your favorite hobbies that have worked right now for work-life practices?
You know, that is a very good question, Milena. So it's funny because I'll have to be completely open and honest here. When the pandemic first started and we got the email, the message saying that the office will be closing, we'll be working from home, I'm thinking it's business as usual.
Yeah.
Okay, I was wrong,
Sure.
which is absolutely all right. So, we did all the same things that we were doing. And then 2 months into it, life completely changed. We started making games on the ceiling fan. We started playing human tic tac toe. I mean, we started playing hopscotch in the backyard. My brand new patio is just covered in chalk all the time. And it's funny because you go back and you remember all those things that made you so happy and brought you so much joy.
Sure.
Simple playing catch in the backyard, going out and doing yard work, repotting plants, doing some of those simple things that you already may have around the house that you need to do, that you just haven't done. But more importantly, creating new routines and allowing for those routines. That has been super beneficial. It's something that I continue to do. I'm committed to continuing to do, whether we are in the pandemic, post-pandemic, or if we're preventing anything further. I really think that having tools and resources available to you and tapping into them. So if you are a part of a program or an organization that has access to employee assistance programs, highly recommend those. They probably know me by blood type already. If you have access to your community mental health center, if you have access to medical insurance and you can talk to your primary care physician and they can give you a referral, it is just really important to understand that you don't have to do this alone, and seeking out help and support is the best way to take care of yourself. And as long as we're doing that, we're going to stay ahead of it. We're going to stay ahead of it, or at least we will be day to day within it and still feeling like we have some sense of control.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, there's some wonderful resources. So for the childcare industry watching right now, what advice would you give to EC professionals during this time that may be having a harder time than normal?
Honestly, I think that especially if you are a part of a network, if you're a part of a network, reach out. If you're part of Early Learning Ventures Network, you can reach out directly to us. One of our responses actually to this pandemic has been to extend our office hours to every Early Learning Ventures affiliate. It doesn't matter if you are participating and you're utilizing our shared resource platform, if you're utilizing our records management system, our financial services, our early Head Start childcare partnerships. We have support readily available during our scheduled business hours, readily available to support your needs. Family development, Jennifer Garcia Rosendo, well-versed in regards to this particular area. We have leadership development that's led by Elsa Sackett. Extremely knowledgeable, has been a huge resource for all of us. Then you have myself, Ty Johnson, and I am again focused on professional development. And if you want to reach out to us, please, please, please do. All of our information is on every single outlet, media source for Early Learning Ventures. And all you have to do is click on that calendar option and you can reach us. And we are really, really ready to help support our industry, because without childcare, this world stops. There's in every relationship, someone is needing childcare to help support what happens next. And we really want to make sure that our affiliate network, inside and out for that matter. So if you have a friend or a colleague who just need that little extra support or need a resource that they may be unfamiliar with and they want to tap into, reach out to us in those particular areas, as well as our entire leadership team. We have dedicated leadership in Pueblo County, Veronica Ibarra. We have dedicated leadership in Mesa County, Karen Malat, and we are really, really pouring out our areas of focus and intent. Notice I didn't use that word expertise because it is overrated. We
That's
don't
true.
have to be an expert to have a conversation.
Right.
We do have to be intentional and present and engaged. And we are committed to doing that on behalf of children and families and absolutely the professionals who love them.
Perfect. Yeah. So speaking on that support, what's one of the challenges that you've heard our providers going through and dealing with that we've been able to support with specifically?
Some specific supports have been PPEs. Wow,
Yep.
we've been a huge support with that, I have to say. We did an ELV mask campaign, which was really beneficial to our providers and providing them some protective gear to help create those barriers, as well as be in compliance with licensing rules and regulations, as well as
Right.
federal standards for that matter. Along with cleaning supplies, we did a really nice COVID lift of where we sent our providers cleaning resources, as well as containers to hold it in, and information cards on how to do or touchless check-in,
Yep.
how to utilize the touchless thermometers, providing them those thermometers. Like these are resources that may seem like they are small, but when you have a small family childcare home business where their primary focus is the care of those children and families, and they may not have that extra $200-300 to go out and
Oh,
purchase
sure.
X, Y, and Z. And instead, they are a part of an affiliate network that is absolutely working together to ensure that all children and family have access to safe environments. And I'm so privileged to be a part of this journey, even though it may be one that we don't want to always walk. At least
Sure.
I
Yeah.
know that we are walking it all in stride together with the main focus in mind.
Making a difference. Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we've done a lot of hard work and it's going a long way. And we've received that feedback several times. So it's great to kind of see that work in action. So
You
here's
know,
the and yeah, go for it.
it's really interesting, Milena, because I remember talking to a provider last week who had said the only way that her family was responding to her was through the kiosk. They
Huh.
they weren't even texting like on their cell phones anymore. They were
Sure.
texting through the kiosk and responding to messages. I was like, well, that's interesting. I mean, I know it's a great communication
Sure. Yeah.
strategy, but to see
Yeah,
how
for you.
effective it is was really nice
Right.
to hear.
Times like this, yeah, for sure. That's a really great example. Good feedback there. So here, just at the end here to wrap up, if there's anything you'd like to share to the network here, I'll give you the last little bit to just extend any resources, final thoughts, or reflections here on your behalf.
I think that when we are thinking about work-life balance, I think it's important to come from that blended perspective. I think it's important to set those routines, create the time and space between the work that you have to do professionally and the work that you have to do at home. Utilizing technology is a big deal. If
Yep.
you have access to a smartphone, if you have access to the internet, I highly recommend tapping into some of the resources that are readily available. There are apps like Headspace, Calm, Shine. There's a My Affirmation, which is one of my favorites. It supplies you with these amazing positive affirmations that just help set your day. Action for Happiness is a great resource. It's one that I also like. There's the Shift Network. That is a really, really good one in regards to needing a little bit more help in getting your mindset to retune it.
Sure.
One of my newest favorite that I've been using for about a month and a half to 2 months is Declutter. And it literally, this is probably going to become my favorite. It literally helps you declutter your mind through self-love practices.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Taking a moment to breathe, put your feet on the ground firmly and feel your body. See where you are at, and then consider where you want to go next. Um, and if we are able to remember our foundation of what we need to be healthy and supportive of ourselves, we need to eat, we need to sleep, and we need to exercise. And I don't mean go to the gym for 2 and 3 and 5 hours. I'm talking about walking your dog,
Sure.
walking your cat. And doing those little things that really helps ground you in the fact that you are in charge of something. We
Sure.
may not be in charge of everything that we want to be, but there are things that we are able to be in charge of.
little things and kind of take advantage of that little bit there. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
perfect.
And I just wanted to share. I know we're coming to an end. Wow, this time goes so fast.
It really does. I told you.
We need to start our own show with a little salt and pepper girl. I think that one of the biggest things that I have been meditating a lot on, and I've shaken it up a little bit, is a quote from Maya Angelou. And it referenced the fact that when dark times are upon us, we have two options. We can curse the darkness or we can light a match. And I challenge us all to light a match.
That's amazing. Perfect note to end on. I'm going to leave it there. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Clive, for your time. I appreciate your conversation. You have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody. Have a good one.
Bye.